flow, RNC, kid.
We gotta run that back. We gotta run that back.
Squad. Squad. Squad.
Fuck.
Cash flow, RNC, cash flow, RNC,
What?
cash flow, RNC, cash flow, RNC.
I'm about that dollar,
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 flow, RNC.
Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. I'm a big deal. You other dudes are small time. I'm about my racks, I'm about my stacks, yes, I'm about mine. You suckers ain't getting none. You suckers just better run. See my money wait a time. My team already won. Get up out my way and delay. See, we don't play, we scared it straight. Cause you know we stay the paper chase. Stack dollars to the sky, that's great. Those haters hate. We fly to 8. Go around my waist. Cause we so great. Waiting for my fall, you gonna wait a while. Be the king of the game. In that ghetto strong style. Say you waiting for my fall, you gonna wait a while. Be the king of the game. In that ghetto strong style. About that dollar, dollar, dollar. I'm about that dollar, 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 dollar.
Make it rain.
I'm about that dollar, 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 dollar.
Make money.
I'm about that dollar, 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 dollar. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it
We all run this to them. We all run this to them.
then it don't make sense. I'm filthy rich. Ooh, I love this money, I could probably buy you out or pay someone to screw you, best believe it, I want problems. Ooh, I bet outside and put a place up on your head, then I push you in my wallet. So watch, don't start it, don't come around with that nonsense. I'll take you out of that garbage, hit your face with that drop it. You nada, you nothing, boy, stay in your lane, then you going for $1,000, I'ma smack you till you change.
Squad. Squad, we here. Y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. It's your boy, the Wildkat, J. Troy. Once again, with another edition of the Wildkat Wrestling Wrap-Up on WEMS Radio. If you want to call in, if you want to chime in, if you're not too scared, call the hotline. If you're listening through the app, the number is 347-422-7289. And if you're watching YouTube, the number's right there. So I'm going to repeat it for the people that don't see it flat out right on the screen. 347-422-7289. One more time. 347-422-7289. All right. Now, your boy is like crazily amplified right now. And I'm going to tell you straight up. That's because your boy has some coffee, okay? Your boy has some coffee. So if I seem a little extra amplified, that's Dunkin' Donut doing his work. But anyway, we have a lot to go over today. We got AEW stuff. We got a whole bunch of WWE stuff. We got NXT TakeOver Portland Fallout. And what a great show. But I'll get to that in a second. So AEW, right? You know, for the past couple weeks, AEW has been impressing me. I feel like the shows have been producing better segments that are, I'm finally getting behind the product, finally getting back into the product in a way. And I like what they did this week. Now, I do have my complaints here and there, but it's better. My mindset is better towards that company than it was, from the past few weeks when I kind of was a little negative. Came across as negative. I didn't mean to be negative, but that's because I wanted to see a better product. Because I know they can bring a better product. Because with the talent that they got, the people behind the scenes, the people who's in charge, the talents that they got, I know that they can bring a great product. And for me, I wasn't one of those AEW, writers, the writers. So, I just gave my opinion. I called down the middle. But like I said, they've been very impressive these past couple weeks, and they've been getting my attention to come back. Next week, well, I don't know if it's next week or we're gonna have it at Revolution. We're having the Elite versus the Elite. So there was a number one contendership battle royal on Dynamite this week, and the Young Bucks won. So they're gonna fight Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Now the question is, will Hangman Page turn not on Kenny Omega but the Elite? Because if you notice that whenever Kenny Omega and Hangman Page win their matches, Hangman Page always walks out on his own. So a lot of people thought that this was going to be just a heel turn on on Kenny Omega, but is this going to be like a full-fledged I'm leaving the Elite thing with Hangman Page? But this is kind of interesting. This match, I already know these men know each other inside and out, so I already know they're going to put on a Dynamite match, no pun intended. I'm kind of intrigued with this. Jeff Cobb. Now, we mentioned Jeff Cobb last week because he was supposedly, working with AEW. Now, I didn't know this was supposed to be like a one-time deal. Now, expect Jeff Cobb to be back. Now, if he's not back if he's not back next week or the weeks after that, just expect Jeff Cobb to be called back to AEW. Now, I do believe even though this was a one and done for now, you will definitely see Jeff Cobb in the future with AEW. I just see it. He has a great look. The one thing that I did not like this week is that he did lose. Now, last week when I was talking about the whole Mox and Jeff Cobb match, I was talking about neither man can lose. Mox damn sure can't lose the match because Revolution is right here, and he can't be losing any matches. He needs to be gaining as much momentum as possible. With Jeff Cobb, he's introduced. You only know Jeff Cobb if you're a hardcore wrestling fan. For casuals, a lot of people didn't know Jeff Cobb. Even when he came out last week, a lot of people, the arena was kind of dead when he came out because a lot of people don't know exactly who Jeff Cobb is. It's not taking away him as a performer, but a lot of people still have to get to know who Jeff Cobb is. Jeff Cobb is a great wrestler, but what he did not need this week was a loss. Now, he didn't flat out lose, but I do believe Mox had rolled him up a little bit, and that's how Mox got the win. So it's just not like he lost decisively, but he shouldn't be losing, period. I thought that this was one match that it should have ended in some schmazzery. Jericho and the Inner Circle should have interfered early in the match and no contest, and they could have just beat him up. Like, it could have been a close match. You could have even brought it to a point where it looked like Mox was about to win the match. But the simple fact that this is Jeff Cobb's first match on like a huge, being introduced to a huge audience, it's not a good look for Jeff Cobb. I do believe he can bounce back, but for them to build up Jeff Cobb to be this killer and everything, and he gets rolled up simplistically on a random episode of Dynamite, not the best look right now, but he definitely can rebound from this. Nyla Rose, Chris Statlander, and it's looking like Big Swole. Big Swole, she's married to Cedric Alexander. I didn't know that. That's a fun fact. I just learned that maybe last week. But Big Swole, I kind of like her look. Like, out of all the women that are in AEW, Big Swole is like really, she's really catching my eye. Who else is in there? We got Awesome Kong. It's looking like just back to this before I get to the women's division, because I do want to speak on that. It's looking like this is going to be a triple threat for the women's title. I would put this at Revolution. It's looked like they probably would put this at Revolution. And just looking at where AEW's women's division is, no shade to the women. No shade to those women, but they need something. They need more names, man. They need to get some more names in this women's division, because one thing that is lacking in AEW is their women's division, and I just feel like they just need some names, something. And then they just put random women on these Dynamite episodes, and expect people to get behind them with good wrestling. Now, we're watching a wrestling show, but to introduce a random wrestler on a wrestling show, just like in a random match, like, we're not gonna really get behind them. Like, when you introduce somebody new, you got to introduce them in a big way. And that was the one gripe that I had with watching Dynamite, because I'll be watching these women's matches, and I'll be like, yo, who the hell is that? Like, they'll just have like a random match with women, and I'm just like, who the hell is that? And then it's like I don't care, because like I have nothing to go off with the person that's in the ring. They didn't get introduced in a big way. They didn't make an impact. They just randomly just put out there. There wasn't no vignettes to build up these characters. They would just be thrown out there. But Nyla Rose, they was building a lot, especially when the company first started. They've been high up on Nyla Rose, so it was only a matter of time before she became champion. Now, she's been getting a lot of heat because I forgot that Nyla Rose did come out as transgender, so she's been catching a lot of heat online with people calling her dude and all that stuff. Like, the whole transgender thing is it's kind of it's a touchy subject. I still haven't put all the pieces together with, I feel, her being transgender women's champion or whatever, but it's not. I'm not going to spew any negativity towards her, because people in this day and age with the whole transgender thing is like, there's a lot of people that's coming out as transgender, so it's kind of becoming a norm. But her being women's champion, like, this is different. I do believe she's like the first ever transgender women's champion in a wrestling company. I don't know how I really feel about this, but going into Revolution, or maybe the next episode of Dynamite, I do think that they're going to build towards Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander versus Big Swole. So that's going to be an interesting match. I do expect Nyla Rose to retain, but I do want to see more Big Swole. For some reason, she just catches my eye. I say this a lot all the time when it comes to Dynamite. And I'm keep spewing my opinion on it. They need a mid-card championship. They really do, because of people like Darby Allin, who I'm becoming a huge fan of. Darby Allin, I'm starting to get behind Darby Allin. He coming out with a skateboard. He helped Mox out early, take out the Inner Circle with his skateboard, and the things that he was doing. Like, Darby Allin, he can be a great mid-card champion. This is why we need a mid-card title. We need something else for those guys like Hagar and Dustin and MJF and Sammy Guevara and like all these dudes. Like, we need a mid-card championship, because we have talented guys, but they have nothing to fight for. They really need a mid-card championship now. Like, I don't understand what's taking them so long. If they don't do it at Revolution, the next big pay-per-view AEW does, or when they do Double or Nothing again, they need a singles mid-card championship for the men. It's time for them they need something to fight for. I don't understand why AEW hasn't done that yet. Can we get a television championship, a U.S. championship, and something, a light heavyweight, something? We need something for these mid-card guys to fight for. Somebody like Darby Allin, something. Give them something to work with. Another thing. Cody. This was the huge moment, and I think in AEW history, like one of the hugest moments that I've ever seen AEW do so far in their short tenure on TV. And that was when Cody Rhodes climbed to the top. Well, he was fighting Warlord? Oh my God, I always screw up this guy. I'm going to call him Warlord. Now, I already know I'm probably botching this guy's name. Ward something. Big dude. That'd be with MJF. I always screw up this guy's name. But he's impressive too. He did something like F5, like time 2. He did like an F10 to Cody Rhodes. He would just threw him up on his shoulders, and this dude like spun. Like, this dude is impressive. I just need to get this guy's name right. But this dude, Warlord, was it Warlord? I'll get his name eventually. He's impressive. I like this guy. He can be a huge star. He has the look. He has the hair. He looks like a wrestler. He got the physique. Like, this dude can be somebody special in AEW. He can be a heavyweight champion. I can definitely see this. moving forward after he leaves MJF. I could see him, I could see MJF eventually treating him like crap, and then he turns on MJF, and then like he'll turn to a babyface. I can definitely see people getting behind this guy in the future. He looks like a star, and he definitely performed in that ring on AEW in that cage match against Cody, and I enjoyed it. But the final moment of the final moment of that match was incredible. Cody Rhodes climbed to the top of the cage, and I do believe this cage was bigger than any cage that I've seen in WWE. You could tell there was a couple extra feet on this cage than the traditional cage that we see in WWE. But Cody Rhodes climbs to the top of the cage and does a moonsault. He didn't even turn around. He didn't even check if Homeboy was standing up. Like, he climbed to the top and he just jumped up, and you just seen him glide down. Like, he just glided down and just like right on top of him. 1, 2, 3. That was the perfect way to end that match. If Homeboy kicked out, that would have been tragic, because that was the right way to end that match. Man, that was something crazy, something special that I witnessed. What a perfect leap of faith from Cody Rhodes, man. Cody Rhodes, what a huge misunderused talent that WWE let go, man. He could have been a star in WWE. I could have seen him as WWE champion. Y'all gave no shade to Jinder Mahal, because I am a Jinder Mahal fan. Cool guy. But y'all gave Jinder Mahal the Rocket before y'all gave Cody Rhodes the Rocket. And you see what Cody Rhodes is doing right now. Man! Cody Rhodes could have been something special in WWE. Just seeing what he's doing, man. He's just putting his body out there, just putting everything on the line, man. Those people in the business are what keep the business alive. People like Cody Rhodes, who have wrestling in their blood, just climbing to the top and just putting everything out there. So the next thing is the match with MJF. MJF has thrown everything at Cody leading up to their match at Revolution. He has done everything. He took the whips from the belt. Everything that he was thrown at him, Cody has taken it. Now, the only thing we have left to watch is the match between MJF. Now, next week, they got to come up with something interesting. Maybe they'll do like a face-off or a contract signing type thing. Something. But I'm definitely intrigued with this match, this Revolution match. I'm definitely excited to watch this one, because they definitely built this one up great. The storytelling in this rivalry was freaking amazing. And like I said before, the previous weeks, the best segments to me on AEW are the Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho segments. I mean, it's Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho. I mean, you can't really expect anything bad from them. They make anything work. But this was just such an amazing moment for AEW. They have their one defining moment finally to show you what AEW finally is. And Cody Rhodes, man, the perfect person to do it. And when you realize now the elite stars are finally looking like stars once again, because you remember this time last year, even though I'm not the biggest fans of the Young Bucks, they was considered one of the best tag teams in the world. Everybody loved the Young Bucks. Everybody loved Cody. Everybody loved Hangman Page. And everybody loved Kenny Omega. It was like the second coming of Christ when you talk about Kenny Omega. But when they first started AEW and the shows was on TV and everything, they didn't look like stars. They just looked like upper mid-card guys to me. And they wasn't really having that much momentum as what they had before. And it was a shame. It was a shame to look at these guys as like upper mid-card guys, because no, they're not upper mid-card. These are main event talent. They definitely put it all out there, no pun intended. Kenny Omega especially. Man, Kenny Omega just coming to where like Kenny Omega was looking like, especially around the time he fought Jericho and that first time at Wrestle Kingdom, up until AEW first started, it's been a drastic difference from how people perceive Kenny Omega, because he was looked at as like the second coming of Christ. Everybody loved Kenny Omega, and this is great. This is great that the elite stars is finally looking like stars. So Revolution is looking like a great pay-per-view. I'm definitely gonna be tuned in. Definitely can't wait to see the fallout. I just want this momentum for AEW to keep going, because they're finally getting my attention again. Like they're finally doing something great, and I just appreciate them for listening to the fans' criticism and not really taking things personally and just putting the train back on the tracks. So that's what I'll say about AEW. Just continue that momentum. NXT. NXT had a big week. You know, we had a big week. Portland. Takeover Portland. What an amazing takeover. I mean, like, what? You know, we've been spoiled with these takeovers, and it's just like, I wonder if we'll ever get a bad takeover. Now, there's been takeovers that I've watched that feel like a step down, but I don't think there's ever been a bad takeover. Ever since they started with NXT Arrival, and then they started doing the takeover shows, those NXT specials have been special. They've been putting on great matches, top quality matches, storytelling, all that. And this was another one for the books. This is probably one of the best takeovers ever. Definitely in the top 10. Solid show. The Keith Lee Dijakovic match. Let's talk about them a little bit more later. You know, we got Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair finally answers Rhea Ripley. And we're going to get that match at NXT. Not NXT, at WrestleMania. We're going to get Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. It's kind of interesting where they're going to go with this because it's looking like Bianca Belair. Although, you know how much I love me some Bianca Belair. I want her to be inserted in this match because I need Bianca Belair to be on a big stage. I don't want her. I keep saying this every week. I do not want this woman in that women's battle royal. You know, I don't want her. She is too damn talented and too much of a star to just be thrusted in a women's battle royal. You know, I need her in a big marquee match. I want this match to be a triple threat. Now, a lot of people having mixed emotions on this match being a triple threat. Oh, I want Rhea versus Charlotte one-on-one. No, I want Bianca Belair in that match. But the only downside with that is if they do put Bianca in there, will she be the fall person? Because you know Vince McMahon is not going to want his Charlotte Flair to take the pin. And Triple H probably doesn't want Rhea Ripley to take the pin. So who can come in this match and eat the L? Bianca Belair. Now, Bianca Belair this week interrupts a match on NXT between, what's her name? Kaden Carter and, oh my God, what's his name? Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. She's with Dolph Ziggler. Not Dolph, she's with Zack Ryder. Chelsea Green. Yes, she was on Tough Enough. Chelsea Green versus Kaden Carter. And she just randomly interfered in the match and was just like, yo, I'm going to let y'all finish. This girl's a bona fide superstar, man. She's a superstar. She comes in like a badass and was just like, yo, I'm going to let y'all finish. But like Charlotte Flair, I'm going to whoop your ass. Yo, and just leaves. And, son, yo, every week I come on this mic and I talk about how great Bianca Belair is, man. Bianca Belair is a mega, I'm not even saying super, she's a mega star. This girl has it, man. This girl has it. Her confidence is off the charts. She out of like the current superstars in WWE, she definitely top 5 has one of the most confident stars. When she goes out there, when she gets on the mic, she means what she say. She doesn't look like she's nervous. When she's in that ring, she doesn't look nervous. That girl goes out there, puts everything out there, and you believe her. You can relate to Bianca Belair because she does things that like relate to, a lot of, regular people. The things that she does, like how she reacts to certain things, like when they had the segment in the ring with Charlotte and Rhea like a couple weeks ago. She was just a megastar, man. I just hope that she doesn't turn into another Sasha Banks because she is going to go to the main roster. But I don't need her to get booked like a Sasha Banks where she wins the title and then like Vince takes it off of her right away. This girl, Bianca Belair, needs to get the title and you let that girl hold it for months. Bianca Belair needs to get a championship and hold it. Not for 30 days, not for a couple pay-per-views. hold it for months. She needs a lengthy run when she gets to that main roster. But so that's why I'm saying that it's gonna look like a triple threat going into WrestleMania. So we shall see with that. But I just want Bianca Belair in that spotlight, man. The world needs to see a bigger audience, a big stage needs to see Bianca Belair, man. So we shall see in the future, but it's looking like we're going to see a Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair match in the future. Dominik Dijakovic versus Keith Lee one more time. Now, Keith Lee had a match against Kona Reeves, which ended in about 30 seconds. And after the match, this is the interesting part, Dijakovic comes down and was like, I'm not ready to move on. You know, and then the crowd started chanting, fight forever, fight forever. And Keith Lee was basically saying, like, listen, if you can convince Regal for one more match, then we can fight forever. I don't mind. Then Keith Lee just walks out, and then that's it. This match we're going to see once again. Now, I do expect Keith Lee to retain because I have another plan for when it comes to Keith Lee and who I think is going to be the person to take that belt off of him and who it should be and what that can lead in the future. I got a plan. I have a plan. Tommaso Ciampa destroys Austin Theory. Like, really destroys this guy. You know, Tommaso Ciampa is very upset after Johnny Gargano turned on him at TakeOver Portland and cost him the NXT Championship, caused him from winning Goldie back, and he got on the mic. Austin Theory tried to pull up on him. Tommaso was like, hell no. Yo, bro, like, listen, check this out. Like, not today. Not today. So he's talking about Gargano and basically saying, like, listen, in order for me to get Goldie back, I can't be my, like, basically I have to get rid of you from NXT in order for me to get my life back. So it's looking like these two is going to have a loser leave NXT match. Loser goes to the main roster. I feel for both of these men. But these two men who love NXT, who wants to stay in NXT, a loser leave NXT match. The loser goes to the main roster. I'm nervous for Johnny Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa. Bishop Man gets his hands on one of them. Because I don't know if they're going to get booked like how they get booked on NXT. We have seen it with so many NXT stars. They go to the main roster and they just fail. So many stars, they just go up there and they just don't get booked right. It took Finn Balor for him to go back to NXT to become Finn Balor, the guy that we love, once again. You know? So anyway, back to this segment with Tommaso Ciampa. Austin Theory tried to pull up on him, and he tried to pull up on him again. Tommaso Ciampa snuffs him immediately. He didn't even hesitate. Homeboy touches his arm. Tommaso knocks him out and just beats the holy hell out of him. Like, beats him up, and that's going to lead to a match next week. Now, I expect this to be a more competitive match because Austin Theory is a kind of a star on the rise. He kind of looks like a discount Finn Balor, though, if you ask me. But that's here nor there. But he's a good wrestler from what I've seen from Austin Theory. But I expect this to be a good match, and Tommaso Ciampa, I'm still expecting him to pick up the win. But this is kind of interesting. Loser leaves NXT. Loser leaves the brand that they love and go to the main roster. So what else we got on here? The Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream is he beat up Roddy Strong. He beat Roddy Strong and he pulled off his gear. He took his gear off and he put the tights. He still had the tights on of Roger Strong's wife, like on his piece. Like that is, was it Rick Rude tribute? You know, Rick Rude-esque, because Ravishing Rick Rude used to do that with all his opponents. He used to put their girlfriends or their family like on their tights. Like he used to put his opponents like on his tights. So I love when Velveteen Dream does that because that adds fuel to the fire. That's old school. You can tell he's a student of the game with that. And you know, this was just a great match between the two. And Velveteen Dream ends up getting the win. And the Undisputed Era didn't waste no time. They got in the ring. They beat the holy hell out of him. But this is what I think. Now, with Tommaso Ciampa not winning the championship, I might get the match that I want. You know, at the TakeOver during WrestleMania weekend. I might get the Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole, baby, for the NXT Championship. And we already seen the fall of the Undisputed Era. We started to see it. Now, they lost the tag team titles to the Broserweights, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, which was another great match. That was probably one of my favorite matches of the entire night on TakeOver Portland. But the Undisputed Era is starting to lose. They lost their championship. Well, except for one. Adam Cole, Bebe, has the NXT championship, and I do expect him to lose that during WrestleMania weekend. And I feel like the opponent that should beat him for that title is the Velveteen Dream. This is long overdue. The Velveteen Dream needs to become NXT champion. And why I say this, I will put that strap on the Velveteen Dream, and then this leads into who do I think should beat Keith Lee for the North American Championship, and that is one Finn Balor. Because Finn Balor has already been NXT champion. He's the current longest reigning NXT champion. I want to see Velveteen Dream as NXT champion. We get Finn Balor the North American Championship. He can have some great title defenses. You know, a possible rematch between Keith Lee. They can do a whole bunch of matches. And then we have a title versus title match at the TakeOver during SummerSlam weekend. And then we can have Finn Balor become a double champion. Finn Balor fans, you're welcome. I just made your boy look like a star. Because ever since Finn Balor has came back to NXT, everybody's just waiting for him to get into the title picture. Which title is he going to get? Is he going to become NXT champion? Now, I do expect him to become the NXT heavyweight champion. But what if we raise the stakes? What if we make him a double champion? What do y'all think about that? The Velveteen Dream, Finn Balor, title versus title. Hell, I would even whip out the Demon around that time. We have the Demon versus the Velveteen Dream. SummerSlam weekend. Title for title. There you go. But we have to slowly start building towards that. So each pieces of the puzzle have to start like fitting in. Velveteen Dream becomes the champion. Finn Balor becomes the North American champion. We get that match. Let me know what y'all think of that. Monday Night Raw, right? We've seen a couple things, but the biggest takeaway from the entire thing is Matt Hardy getting murdered again. Well, this was attempted murder once again. This is bad. This was worse from last week from Randy Orton. Randy Orton just destroys him, RKOs him, concerto, puts his head against the steel steps and deletes him again. And Randy Orton just continues to look more and more vicious every single week, man. This is the old school Randy Orton that we loved in like 09. Was it 09 when he was shooting with the McMahons? Like, no, that was a different type of Randy Orton. He's a level down from that Randy Orton, but this Randy Orton is still sadistic. It just seems like whenever he fights the Hardy Boys, he gets extra mean. I can speak. He just gets extra mean, okay? Extra hardcore and extra nasty. You remember what he was doing with Jeff Hardy last year? He would take the screwdriver and wrap it around Jeff Hardy's earlobe and just pull it out, and just nastiness, man. But, you know, this just leads to, just answer everybody's head when it comes to Matt Hardy and where he stands with WWE. You know he's going to AEW. He's been putting the teasers and stuff online on his Instagram and his YouTube. He's just, one caption that he started out with on one of his recent posts was anyway, the first three words, if you looked at the first three letters, it was spelled out AEW. I forgot what it was, but it spelled out AEW. And then he put up another picture of him watching AEW this week. So it's just like, we all know where Matt Hardy's going to go. When his contract is up in the beginning of March, he's going to AEW. And that's a great pickup for the company. And I'm just, if Matt Hardy goes to AEW, man, I'm really going to be glued, because this man's mind is freaking insane, like insanely good. So this was the best segment of the night with Randy Orton. And yeah. The Women's Elimination Chamber match, right? So I'm gonna run a couple things down quickly before I get into the break, because throat piece is getting a little dry. The Women's Elimination Chamber match. Sarah Logan, Asuka, Natty, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Shayna Baszler. Can we make it any more obvious than Shayna Baszler's winning? Like, why do we got to go through all this? Especially when she attacked Becky. We're already... I don't understand why we got to go through this. We already know. We don't want to see Asuka versus Becky again. We saw that in Mad Time. I damn sure don't want to see Ruby Riott. I don't want to see Natty. I don't want to see Liv. I don't want to see. It's obvious that Shayna Baszler is gonna win this. So why do we have to go through a whole Elimination Chamber match? Why, to get a Asuka and Shayna Baszler stare off? But the way that they put Asuka today, like, do we really want to see that? No. So. And I have an early prediction for this WrestleMania match between Becky and Shayna. I think Becky Lynch is going to retain. I think that's my spoiler. I'm giving one of my WrestleMania predictions away now. I'm saying right now, Becky Lynch is going to retain at WrestleMania. And a lot of people's going to be like, oh my God, they already complaining about Becky Lynch. She's boring now because she had a lengthy title reign. You know, you can't have lengthy title reigns in this day and age because a lot of people get bored of it fast. After the first couple months, they want you to drop the title immediately. No matter who you are. After 2 months, they want you to lose the belts. But I don't want Shayna Baszler to win. I'm just not ready for another Shayna Baszler title run. That's just me. She had a long title run with the NXT Women's Championship. So yeah. And another thing before I get into the break, I'm tired of seeing the same matches with Rollins and his dudes versus Kevin Owens and the Viking Raider Time Machine Experience Warriors, whatever the hell their name is this week. It's the same redundant match every single week. Like, it's the same thing. Like, where is this rivalry leading to? Like, what is it leading to? I'm not intrigued. The whole Seth Rollins, the Messiah thing, I mean, it was good in the beginning when he first turned heel, but it's just like, it's the same redundant thing. Where is this leading to? Where are we going WrestleMania time? Are we going to get Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins 1-on-1? We've seen this before. This is nothing different except the roles are reversed. But we've seen it almost every week. I don't want to see that match. And you see the crazy change of how with Seth Rollins is, man. What a fall from grace. This man was one of the top guys last year, defeating Brock Lesnar clean damn near. And he beat Brock Lesnar twice. And now he turned heel, and then it's just like, he's not the same heel Rollins like how he was before. A lot of people saying, oh my God, he's the same heel Rollins. No, this is not the authority Seth Rollins. That Seth Rollins was great. This Seth Rollins is absolute crap. I'm not a fan of this heel Seth Rollins. I'm not a fan of the Messiah. It's just not working with me. It's not working with me. I just wish Seth Rollins did not run his mouth on Twitter. That would lead to him changing his character. I miss the old Seth Rollins. I miss the burn it down. I miss getting excited whenever I hear burn it down. I don't know, man. But that's all I got to say. I'm just tired of seeing this same exact match every week. They've been fighting each other every single week for the past... Since January. Since the beginning of January. Since Seth Rollins turned, man. So, we're going to go on a quick break. Now come back. I got a couple of things to run down. You got injury. We got WrestleMania matches. So, we got a lot to go over. So... I'm going to quickly play this resounding song. One of my people's from Five Towns. I'm going to play their Kamehameha song, you know. Something that I like, you know. Maybe y'all like it. I don't know. But I'm going to play this right quick. So we'll be right back in a hot minute.
She stay big mad, cause I got a little cash. Yo, everybody on my ass. Yo, you dead ass? I think it's time to chase a bag. Kamehameha, I'll blast you to Mars. I'ma stay turned, even dark from afar. Show you my language, cause I'm from the stars. And we can go there while I strum my guitar. Kamehameha, my niggas screaming Kamehameha. My bitches screaming Kamehameha. We all screaming Kamehameha.
selfish way. Sense on being is what I need. I'ma live to infinity. Master speed, get to me. Can't keep up, then I gotta leave. Bitch, I'm on a mission. I'm a real musician. Time to get the hell out of here. Instant transmission.
Galactic on fire like a nova, you can't stop me. Use a hose to put me out and things get misty. Everything is heating up, heating up, heating up. Almost anything can't bother me. I heard something. I unlock my true power, I'm the best me. You can call it magic, I just call it key. I'ma stay persistent, I went ultra instinct. Pull up with the squad, I'm a super sick. Kamehameha, I'll blast you to Mars. I'ma stay turned, even dark from afar. Show you my language, cause I'm from the stars. And we can go there while I strum my guitar. Kamehameha, my niggas screaming Kamehameha. My bitches screaming Kamehameha. We all screaming Kamehameha, Kamehameha.
We gonna play one more. We gonna play one more. This is that Kurt Angle. Bobbing weave.
Don't bother me. Bother me, slip through the angle. Don't bother me, I pull out Kurt Angle. Don't wash his knees, you miss us in the peephole. With my squad, rocking on Miss Pico. Bother me, slip through the angle. Don't bother me, I pull out Kurt Angle. Don't wash his knees, you miss us in the peephole. With my squad, rocking on Miss Pico.
Just a kid from the galaxy, from far, far away. I've been bandana D, but you call me Young D. Swerving so fast off the freeway. They say time is of the essence, but today is the day.
They say, Kiki, do you love me? But all I love is money. Die from my squad, don't put nothing else above the female rock star. I'ma live large, still have a big heart. Kill 'em with this flow, so I'ma go.
Like a pro, judo when I'm low, ghetto when I'm mad. Add and subtract, can you do the math?
Racks on racks on racks on racks. Gaining knowledge to the max. Ain't got time for chitty chats. Gotta make these steady stats. That's a fact. Bother me, slip through the angle. Don't bother me, I pull out Kurt Angle. Don't wash his knees, you miss us in the peephole. With my squad, rocking a mystico. Bother me, slip through the angle. Don't bother me, I pull out Kurt Angle. Don't wash his knees, you miss us in the peephole. With my squad, rocking a mystico.
It's a smackdown for y'all niggas now. Matter of fact, I leave y'all faces red like it's raw. If this music was the galaxy, I'm the shooting star. We all one resounding, now we going far. Yo, I got the juice, I got swag, I got the drip, I got the sauce. Yo, I gave you your job, don't get it twisted, I'm your boss. Say goodbye to my old friends, they don't know how to trust. In this movement, so resonating, that's they lost. I'm never gonna crumble with all this work I jumble. Yo, L, why you scream so much? I hate when niggas mumble. Gotta stay humble and never cause a fumble. Have you on the ropes, knock you out the Royal Rumble. Gang.
Bother me, slip through the angle. Don't bother me, I pull out Kurt Angle. Don't wash his knees, you miss us in the peephole. With my squad, rocking on Miss Pico. Bother me, slip through the angle. Don't bother me, I pull out Kurt Angle. Don't wash his knees, you miss us in the peephole. With my squad, rocking on Miss Pico. Don't bother me.
And we back, baby. We back with the Wildkat wrestling rapper with your boy, the Wildkat J. Troy. And hold up. See, when I was just on the break, I was just searching on, the Instagram, the IG and everything, and I just saw that my family, them thuggles, Jimmy Thug, UJ Thug, Johnson, day one, that is me, baby. Wait, hold up. I just found out that my family, them thuggles, Jimmy Thug, UJ Thug, Oos, got a new shirt. Oos got the juice. I need that shirt. I need it. I need that shirt in my life. I need that shirt. I'm going to get that shirt. Oh, I'm going to get that shirt. What a great looking shirt. Okay, so we got some minutes. We got some minutes left. I got a rapid fire to this last bit of stuff. So Samoa Joe got injured during a commercial shoot during a table break. So he injured his head. So this is another concussion looking like situation. And this is terrible for Samoa Joe because It's looking like Samoa Joe is injury prone, and you know when you look injury prone in WWE, they will never give you the rocket, and it's just a shame that something like this happened to somebody like Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is like one of the best wrestlers that has laced up a pair of boots. You know, it's very few people that looks like badasses, like total badasses, and he can deliver on the mic. He damn sure can deliver in the ring. Like Joe is one of those guys that you wanted to see a world champion in WWE, but I think the one thing that did hold him back, although he held, you know, the U.S. Championship a couple times and the NXT Championship, the one thing that held him back, I do believe, was his injuries. WWE never really gave him that rocket because he's injury prone. This is a shame. He really is starting to look like Taz for real, because people always compare Samoa Joe to Taz, but you know, I think Samoa Joe might just gotta have his career at the not at the commentator's booth. He was great at when he was doing commentary. We all love Samoa Joe. We want the best for Samoa Joe, but it's a damn shame that he's getting injured constantly, you know. So yeah, so I heard that the injury is pretty significant, so he might be out for the next few months. I guess WrestleMania is really up in the air when it comes to Samoa Joe, but that's just a damn shame, man. We can't be. Oh man, just when Joe was coming back, you know, he's a babyface. He's just like, I was liking the babyface Samoa Joe because that's the Samoa Joe that I like. You know, I like babyface Samoa Joe. That's an unpopular opinion. A lot of people prefer Samoa Joe when he was a heel. I like babyface Samoa Joe. But that's just a damn shame. Hopefully, the injury isn't that significant and Joe will be back on TV soon. AJ Styles versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now, this is one of the rumored WrestleMania matches. AJ Styles and The Undertaker. This is my problem because I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and the way that AJ Styles is booked in, 2019 going into 2020, AJ Styles, he's going to get his ass kicked by The Undertaker. But if this was the AJ Styles that was WWE champion for all those months, and he went against The Undertaker, then this would have been like a competitive match. You won't really know who's going to win. Are they going to pull the trigger on AJ Styles or Undertaker? This is where booking comes into a factor. How has AJ Styles been booked these last few months? Now, we all know AJ Styles will go down as one of the best wrestlers of all time. But how he was booked these last few months is just like, is this person going to stand a chance against The Undertaker? No. 2020 AJ Styles he's going to get his ass kicked. You know? But this was 2018 AJ Styles. The one that was WWE champion. The one that went against Shinsuke. The one that was booked right. The one that he was going against Samoa Joe and they had the little Wendy stuff. Like, that's the AJ Styles. Hell, even the AJ Styles that went against Brock Lesnar. That's when he first won the WWE title. It would have been, I feel like it would have been a more intriguing match. Like, I feel like with this, we pretty much know the outcome. The Undertaker's going to beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Now, quite sure a lot of people won't have a problem with that. But I just wish that this was a properly booked AJ Styles. You know, go against Undertaker. It's still a dream match. Quite sure these men is going to deliver. You know, you got AJ Styles and you got The Undertaker. They're going to deliver, but it's just like, with the way that AJ Styles is booked, is the outcome really, like, up in the air? Like, you know. Another match. John Cena versus Elias. If this match comes true, this will be the third interaction between John Cena and Elias at a WrestleMania in a row. Yeah, because they first started out in New Orleans at WrestleMania 34. Last year was the Doctor of Thugonomics thing, return. And then this year, if they do have the match, this will be the third interaction. My problem with this, and there's no shade to Elias because I love Elias as a wrestler, great human being. I met this guy, one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met. But this right here is not WrestleMania, especially for John Cena. We haven't seen John Cena in months. I can't remember the last time I saw John Cena on WWE television. And I always thought that probably was WrestleMania. But anyway, we heard that John Cena was going to have a big match at WrestleMania, but when we found out it was against Elias, That's not WrestleMania, man. That's like a Monday Night Raw match, a SmackDown Live match, a house show match. That doesn't scream WrestleMania. There's no shade to Elias. I love Elias, but Elias hasn't been booked properly either. And I know he's not a fan of his booking as of now because, they don't really have him in big storylines. He's just going out there singing every week. But this is not. And where do we go with Elias' character? He's been playing the babyface, so is he going to turn heel again? You don't want to do that because there's people that's getting behind Elias again as a babyface. So you don't want to turn him. Why will we have this match? Like, this is a match that we don't care about, and it's just John Cena. John freaking Cena. You're going to get John Cena to Elias. Or Elias to John Cena, whatever way you want to flip it. But this is not WrestleMania. I hope they change their mind. We were supposed to get John Cena versus Kurt Angle last year, and we never got that. We got Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. I don't know, man. Another. I got like 9 minutes left. Okay, rapid fire time. Oh, John Cena is supposed to return next week, so there's here nor there. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out exactly where John Cena's direction is going into WrestleMania time next week. Naomi versus Bayley is rumored for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Now, a lot of people have been trashing this idea because a lot of people want Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Now, a couple weeks ago when it was around Royal Rumble time, I was behind the idea of us finally get Sasha Banks and Bayley at WrestleMania. But now that I think about it, now that I see Naomi in the spotlight once again, I want Naomi to have that big one-on-one match at WrestleMania. I want her to have this. Naomi, a woman who's been scratching and clawing, a woman who's been dealing with plates of crap forever, even though she was a two-time women's champion. But after she lost that championship, she was in obscurity. She was in obscurity. A lot of people was like, oh, I want the Sasha Banks and Bayley match. But it's just like, at this point, if I don't get it, if I get Naomi versus Bayley, I'm with that too. That's family. And Naomi's one of the best women's wrestlers today. I know a lot of people don't put Naomi up there, but she is one of the top women's wrestlers. If she's not in your top 5, she's damn sure in the top 10. So, I hope this is true. But that leads to what I'm going to say about because tonight we're going to have a number one contenders match between Naomi and Carmella. Winner gets Bayley at Super Showdown. Now, I can see Bayley interfering in the match and making it a triple threat. And then Bayley somehow pinning Carmella at Super Showdown and not pinning Naomi. I can see this happening so you can still keep momentum on Naomi. And, you can build towards their one-on-one match at WrestleMania. But how are they going to keep this build-up interesting if they're going to do this? Because they've been teasing this for a while. How are they going to keep this hot without them having a match for the championship at WrestleMania? I could see them possibly having a title match on SmackDown, then like Bayley just, getting herself disqualified or getting herself counted out or whatever, or doing something, or like beating Naomi by like putting her feet on a rope, something like that. But how are we going to keep this interesting going into WrestleMania? But I do want Naomi to have that match at WrestleMania. When I heard that, I was like, this is the match I want to see. Out of all the women's matches, if it's as of now, because Bianca Belair is not really in the NXT women's title match. So right now we got Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, and Naomi versus Charlotte. Those are the rumored matches. Well, actually, one of them, the NXT match, is confirmed. But those are supposed to be the 3 women's matches. Out of all 3 of the matches, the Bayley versus Naomi match is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. That's the women's match that I'm looking forward to the most. The Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch match, I don't care unless Becky Lynch retains. What I'm calling is Becky Lynch retaining and Ronda Rousey returns at WrestleMania. But I feel like Becky Lynch is going to win that match. Charlotte and Rhea, I'm still up in the air. But the Bayley and Naomi match, that's a match I want to see, man. Naomi needs that spotlight. She needs that one-on-one spotlight at WrestleMania, in Tampa, in Florida, like where she lives and everything. Like, this is it, man. So, we also have Goldberg versus The Fiend, they're supposed to have a face-off tonight because I do believe the Super Showdown match is next Thursday in Saudi Arabia. So they're gonna have to build towards that. I think this is their final interaction before the big show. Now, when we think about this, it's kind of weird because I can see this match going both ways. I can see Goldberg winning, and I can see The Fiend winning. My guess and hope is that The Fiend wins. The Fiend retains, beating Goldberg. But I can also see Goldberg winning. Then we have Spear versus Spear, Goldberg versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I can see that happening. And it scares the crap out of me. Because what do we do with The Fiend? Now, I also heard that if The Fiend loses the championship at Super Showdown, he's supposed to lose the, not he's supposed to lose. He's supposed to face John Cena. And then that's a WrestleMania rematch from WrestleMania 30 when John Cena fought Bray Wyatt then. And John Cena went over. The Fiend versus John Cena, that's an intriguing match. But it's just like, damn, man. I'd rather see that for the Universal Championship if you ask me. Just think about that now. I'd rather see John Cena versus The Fiend for the Universal Championship. I can deal with that, and The Fiend still going over. Either way, I need The Fiend to be looking strong, man. It scares me. Where this booking is going to go. A moment of bliss tonight. We're going to have that with the Bella Twins. And this is kind of intriguing because you know that the Bella Twins is not going to get physical because they're pregnant. Both of them is pregnant. And so you know that they won't be doing crazy bumps. The only thing that I could possibly hear them talk about is them being inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is supposed to be that was a heavy rumor for like the last couple of weeks. You know, like I said, the Bella Twins, they deserve it. I know that's an unpopular opinion. A lot of people saying like, "Oh, what did the Bella Twins do?" They put in their work. I'm not gonna discredit the Bella Twins. Were they the best wrestlers? No. But they put in their work. They tried their hardest. They trained. Nikki Bella's neck is messed up from the road and everything she's done. And, you know, the Bella Twins going into the Hall of Fame, they deserve it. I'm going to say that the Bella Twins deserve it. So that's the only thing I could possibly see them doing. They can't get physical because they're pregnant, obviously. So that should be interesting. And then I spoke about the number one contenders match between Naomi and Carmella. And lastly, we have a Schmaz match player. Who the hell made this match 10 long? So we got Dolph Ziggler versus Bobby Bob Roode. The Miz and Morrison versus The New Day versus my family. I'm Thuggles. I'm Thuggles. The Jimmy Thug, J Thug, who's down since day one. That is me. So you're going to have an 8-person tag team match player. I don't care. The Usos need to get into a meaningful, like, title rivalry or something like this. Because them being in these random tag team matches ain't cutting it for me. They too damn talented for them to be in irrelevant BS tag team matches. And another thing, we're going to see the fallout from the Otis and Mandy date. So I'm excited for that because this is, if it's not the best, it's probably the second best story. I'm trying to think. Off the top of my head, this is probably like my favorite storyline going around in WWE. The Otis and Mandy Rose, man. We need some revenge for Otis because Otis got a little disappointed yesterday. Now, not yesterday, last week. Now, you know, it was Valentine's Day last week. And he was supposed to go on his big date with Mandy Rose. And it was told that, you know, Mandy Rose was supposed to be running. Like, somebody tipped off Otis and somebody tipped off Dolph Ziggler, you know, telling them where Mandy Rose was going to be. Somebody, it could be Sonya Deville or it could be Taki. We don't want it to be Taki because we don't want to see a heavy machinery breakup. We can't have that. So I think it was Sonya Deville who tipped off Mandy Rose. Who tipped off Dolph Ziggler and Otis, you know, with the whole messing up the date thing. And this could lead to a face turn for Mandy Rose and her teaming up with Otis and Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler, like fighting each other. I could definitely see that match coming. But we shall see. This is like one of my favorite storylines going around in WWE because we all love Otis. How can you not love Otis? We get behind Otis And we want Otis to win. We want Otis to get the girl, man. The girl of his dreams. Mandy Rose. It all goes down tonight on SmackDown. Should be a solid show, but we shall see. And that's about it. That's about it for this week. I'm out of time. I'm about to go over an extra minute or so. So that's it for the Wildkat Wrestling wrap up. With your boy, the Wildkat, J. Troy. And tune in next week. Same time, same place on WEMS Radio. I always thank my man Prophet Pete. Prophet ain't here today, but I will always thank Prophet for giving me this platform to be able to, vent, go crazy, talk wrestling with the world. Whoever's paying attention to me, man, whoever supports Tune In every week, whoever listens to the app, whoever watches me on the YouTube, I appreciate y'all for taking your time out your day to spend. Hell, if y'all tune in for 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever, I appreciate y'all spending that time with me. I appreciate it. Join the movement, man, and watch all the other shows that's on WEMS Radio. We bring nothing but the heat, man. So I will leave. I'm gonna keep the resounding going today. So this has been the Wildkat Wrestling Wrap Up with your boy, the Wildkat J. Troy, and we are out. This is resounding. Stay.
Minute. I must say no. Me and you had a good thing. We can't get back, or we just need another minute. We can't start from the beginning. You read me better than me. I hold in things I shouldn't. Confiscating myself, holding you from my wealth. Better I suffer myself than both of us. I prefer one demon at a time. Too much on my conscience, so much to handle. It was gold while it lasted. I got a purpose and I feel fantastic. Baby girl, go ahead and show your magic. Go ahead and love yourself while you at it.
Stay, baby, stay. Don't you know I love ya? Stay, baby, stay. There's no one above ya. Every night I'm thinking of ya. Don't want love from another. Why won't you just stay with me?
Back on the block, I'm chilling now. Looking at my phone and my feelings now. What you doing right now? In my head with nerves, text, stressing over your stress. Know you wanna try again, but I can't take a step back. Gotta stay on track, I can't get trapped. Can't be thinking about that. Got love for you, can't give you more than that. At the end of the day, I'ma care for you. At the end of the day, I'll be here for you. We're better with friends, I hope you understand. We could party together, it'd probably be better. Friends telling me, bro, why not forget her? I've been thinking about that, but man, whatever. It's not like she was my forever.